So we're in Melbourne at the Etihad Stadium. I'm Chris Marsh. I'm the production manager and front of house engineer for Ed Sheeran. 2011, everything started with me and Ed. I was asked to come on board because he was starting to do bigger shows and headline shows, and they needed a sound guy, and they wanted someone to help them with some production elements. The idea was that Ed was going to start maybe having a production look. So I got brought on board. I accepted it because it looked like it'd be fun. It was initially 2 weeks. After that 2 week period, it never stopped. Moved on to doing shows in Europe and then beyond. Followed his success around the world, to the point we find ourselves here. One of the most exciting things for me in both of my roles is the fact we started doing clubs and theatres and with no budget, so trying to squeeze bits of equipment and designs out of having no money to spend, and going and working with in-house PA systems and in small intimate environments. I very quickly decided I had to carry my own mixing console, so I took my Digico ST11 around with me, which was brilliant because it gave me a constant that I could work with, and gave Ed some consistency on stage for his monitoring. And as we evolved through being able to carry our own PAs and spend more money on production designs, it was a very interesting evolution. I got to play with so many different toys on the way up that as at each stage we got to, I was pretty clear on everything that worked well for Ed. You know, from the source, it is just an acoustic guitar and a vocal. We then sort of go through the process of there being a loop station. Ed records multiple loops. They come to me as multiple channels. They're derived from either playing the acoustic guitar, banging the acoustic guitar, his voice being utilised for harmonies, beatboxing, and then his lead vocal on top of that. Essentially, that's it from what's coming from the stage. Ed's monitoring system stayed the same pretty much since we left theatres. He has a pair of Sound MJF 212 wedges and a pair of 900 subs, and he has a Sennheiser 2050 in-ear system that he listens to his monitoring on. It all gets looked after by the SD7. This SD7 looks after the monitoring and the front of house, and it also deals with the matrixing of all his guitars down to a single channel to go through the loop station and come back out on the multiple channels that it does. The guitars are all wireless, as is the vocal. We use a Sennheiser 9000 series system. We stay in the digital domain pretty much throughout the whole signal process until it comes out to the speakers. And the speakers we use are Sounds. I absolutely adore the Leo.
Charlie Albin, I'm the audio systems engineer for Ed Sheeran. Currently we're touring predominantly a Leo system with 1100 subs. Main hangs are 18 Leo in a hang. We're using that on the main and side hangs, so 4 in total. Behind the mains we've then got 1100 subs flown, and then 12 1100 subs per side, ground stacked in an end-fire configuration on the floor. And this is supplemented by Lena front fill speakers, some Leopard outfill speakers, and we're touring Milo delay hangs.
Well, we used an awful lot of different PA systems, as you have to when you're up and coming and don't get to make the choice. And when we came across Milo, I discovered a box that finally had a wow factor about it that I hadn't really experienced since VDOS. And we did a show with the Leo, and instantly for me, the Leo was yet again another step forward. It was I found that the loops that have always sort of built in complexity when Ed is building them by playing them, they suddenly had more definition between them. And we're talking about, you know, a loop as he records it goes over and over again, sometimes in excess of 100 times by the time you've built percussive loops and everything else on top. And whilst they've always been quite clear, I've never had the definition that I've experienced with the Leo. And it was remarkable. And it wasn't just remarkable to me as an engineer, it was very, very reassuring to hear the comments from fans, Ed's family and other musicians and the such that came to that show who had been to previous shows and said, I don't know what's different, but that was it. And yeah, it was the Leo. So we've toured with the Leo as our main system of choice ever since.
Well, obviously moving from a long period of doing arenas with Ed, left us with a very clear idea of what we could expect from him, from the board and from the PA. So moving into the stadiums, at least there's some consistency from that. However, we're dealing with so many more hangs of PA in here that there are definite challenges which we've been presented with, particularly just in terms of getting coherence between the different arrays. You know, we're talking where they're, two sets of speakers 100 meters apart, and you might be hearing multiple arrival times that you can't get around. So that is been quite a challenge, a new challenge for us. And we have some very good tools here. We're using a SIM3 measurement system in conjunction with the Maya Galaxy processors. So that's particularly helpful in time aligning and phase aligning the different PA elements. But ultimately, it still boils down to getting out and walking with a test track that you know really well, and just using your ears to fine tune it. And there've been some quite significant alterations we've made around the different rooms we've been in, different stadiums.